Anyway, NBA, are you ready to talk about
Ready.
your Leone game?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, the Leone is one of those ships that, frankly, I never really enjoyed. The guns just feel very anemic. The
They are.
torpedoes have very long range, but they're very slow. Um, that's about it, right? She's got smoke,
That's
she's got
it.
engine
That's
boost,
it.
but that's about it. So, like,
It's not even crawling smoke. Yeah, it's not even.
right. Right. Now this destroyer was released before the line was released, where it has the crawling smoke. Hey, Abua. That's true. She's got depth charges now. Woo!
I
She
mean, those
didn't.
depth charges are pretty good. I mean,
Still, generally speaking, I don't play her. So why did you play the Leone? What were you thinking?
I just out having fun. Just it was just a ship, just picked the ship and went with it.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, she was in development hell for ages, Cthulhu, and I think that's because
Yeah.
she was tested. The developers, of course, have an idea in their mindset of what they want the ship or the line to look like, and they go and they test it, and they realize it ain't working. And so they kept trying to mess with it, and finally, I think they just kind of said, "Ah, to hell with it. Let's just release it and be done with it." So there you go. That's what happened. All right, sorry, apologies. I'm just getting Stream Raiders ready to go for those of you guys that play. Most of you know that I do Stream Raiders off stream as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your build then, with the understanding that this ship is rather frustrating to play. So,
It is.
is this a standard captain, or is it Sansonetti?
Yeah. No. I'm working on Cincinnati. No, it's standard. Standard.
Okay. So my first question for you is gonna, well, we'll get to commanders in a second. Your ship setup here, you've got main armaments mod 1, engine and protection, good, aiming systems mod, and propulsion. That's perfectly fine. Everything there is fine. You can see that your rudder shift time is 3.4 seconds, whatever. There's nothing else better, I would say, for that. For slot 3, I don't think you would benefit much from the smoke generator mod because it's not the crawling smoke like you mentioned, or the I like to call it the deep water smoke, the fuel
Right.
smoke. You could make the argument for torpedo tubes, but you got single fire guns that just go pew pew pew, so aiming systems make sense. Oh, you could go for main battery modification too. This actually wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah.
Try to get
they're
the
really
guns
slow.
turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turret traverse isn't the greatest. So if you're playing without radiolocation, I think the turret traverse would come in handy.
Okay.
But the nice thing about this is it only costs you credits to make the change. So play around with it, and if it's a ship that you play a ton, you make the investment change. If you don't, then just leave it and forget it, because if it's like your once a month kind of thing, or even less
I have
frequent.
about 40 battles in it, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Grunty.
Hey,
So-
Grundy.
All right, let's talk about Captain for a second. The reason I said why not Cincinnati is because this is a premium ship. So, two things about that. You can put any captain on a premium ship. And assuming you don't have Cincinnati built for another premium destroyer, you can have a generalist build and be fine. Also, that would give you XP towards growing Cincinnati and promoting him.
Right. I'm just trying to get him still, so.
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
pointing it out to you
General.
because if,
Okay.
yeah, because if you're doing a standard build, Cincinnati wouldn't be a bad idea. What other premium destroyers are there for the Italians? I don't
Paolo
think-
is the only
Paolo's the
one.
only
No,
one.
that
Yeah,
is
it's
the FR25.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have that one yet, so.
Okay. Do you have the Paulo?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's the only one. It's my only one.
And frankly, we discussed this last week, Big O, right? The Paulo wasn't... Like, Cincinnati doesn't have a huge impact on the Paulo. You're better off putting Cincinnati on the FR25 if you were going to put him on one of those two, right? So, in that case...
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, because the skills and talents, you have to get a Confederate, but that helps your main battery, right? You have to get a kill, that helps your main battery, and you're not going to shoot your main battery much in the Paulo. And then consumable action time, this one is nice, but you have to hit ships 100 times with the main battery. Again, you're not using Paolo for that. So, you know, you could build Sansonetti with a generalist 10-point build or even 13-point build, because you're probably going to want Adrenaline Rush on the FR25, and then just leave it like that, and then just keep playing him in Leone or something. This is more like literally 13 points. This is more than enough for you to just screw around in the Leone with Sansonetti and be fine.
Right.
Side note, you can see that he gets buffed Swift Fish, so that actually helps your torpedoes reach their target a little bit quicker.
The landmines,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's only percentages.
Right.
I wouldn't skill Swiftfish though.
I wouldn't either. So let's take a look at your setup. So you've got the core build plus Adrenaline Rush. I like this. So preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, and then Adrenaline Rush is absolutely where I would start my setup. And then, is this commander on a tech tree ship, or is this commander only on Leone?
It's my battleship.
It's your battleship captain. Okay. The reason I'm asking is because this is going to be a destroyer-specific build for Leone then, essentially.
Right.
So in that, I can understand the thought of Swiftfish, but personally, I would have held off on that and picked up radiolocation. You know how much of a radiolocation enthusiast I am.
I know.
Yeah. So I would probably have gone for that over Swiftfish. As a matter of fact, honestly, I think you're better off because Swiftfish, let's take a look at the torpedoes here. Let me pop this up here. And let me pull up the torpedoes. 51 knots. Now, if you put on Swiftfish, oh boy, look at that. You gain 2.5 knots.
Like, the problem is, like,
It's nothing.
none of the Italian torpedoes destroyers have good enough torpedoes except for the Paolo Emilio, in
Right.
which you probably YOLO anyway, so you don't need the torp speed on those.
Correct.
And all the other ones are already kind of point starved.
Yep.
And investing 2 points into Swiftfish when there's so many other skills you want and need,
Yep.
it doesn't seem like a good trade-off.
I want to point your attention, direct your attention to the reaction time. You're from 7.3 seconds to 6.95 seconds reaction time. So that means how quickly does somebody who spots the torpedoes have to react to seeing them before they hit the ship? I mean, that's they're going to hit the ship regardless. Is the point I'm getting at.
Okay.
Yeah, the reaction time is kind of good on those.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, one thing that we're missing here, of course, is time. The time to maximum range. Obviously, with it being faster, your torpedoes will get there a little bit quicker, right? So that's a statistic that would be nice to have. But beyond that, I'm with Grunty on there. I think you'd be better off. Let's see. If you're gonna build a Leone, and that's at 17 already, so then you've got 4 points remaining. Personally, I might go for Fill the Tubes because honestly, this ship to me is all about luck chucking torps.
Yeah,
So
that's what I do. Yeah.
get the torpedo tubes reloaded. 4.5 seconds quicker is pretty sizable. Plus Adrenaline Rush.
I mean, I don't think going from 44 to 40 seconds is helpful.
I feel it is, but okay. What would you do with your 4 points, Grunty?
I probably would go here with the main battery 5% on this ship.
The boss?
Yeah, I would.
Why?
And then I would take the grease the gears. Because the torpedoes are already so quick on the reload. Like, you're not gonna stay in range to chuck them every 40 seconds. Like, I don't take torpedo reload on the kamikaze either because it's already so quick.
I know you
There's
don't.
almost no reason to get it quicker.
See, for me, the reason to get it quicker is because when you're luck chucking torps, especially if you're running away from a target, you need that extra few seconds. The gun, my problem with the gun on the Leone is it's just such garbage. Like I just don't see a reason to try to bump them.
Everything on this ship is
That's true.
garbage.
That's true.
I'm like you have to fight enemy destroyers at some point, and I would just take the gun reload here to give you a better chance with that.
Okay.
Okay, I mean that's fine. So
Honestly, you
understand it.
could also do something like if you want to go the full torpedo thing and say my guns suck, take Swift in silence and make your ship a bit faster so you can get around and use your torpedoes.
I was afraid you were gonna say that. And that that's true. I mean that's
Yeah,
true. What's your
yeah.
max speed? 34. Ew.
It's slow too. Yeah, thanks. Dog.
Hell, you could even make an argument for Dazzle on this ship, so you stay alive a bit longer.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mabas, but hey, look, we just gave you a couple of choices. So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
but that's a long ways away for you anyway.
Yeah. Especially
Because
in
if
this
you-
ship.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: if you went Swift Fish, and frankly, I wouldn't spend the doubloons to respec, right?
No. Yeah.
For this ship. So if you went Swift Fish, and that means your next is probably going to be radiolocation. So by the time that happens, there will probably be a free respec because they usually do that like once a year, right? So, you know, if you remember, of course, you can always put another captain on Leone from any other ship, any other tech tree ship too. So, you know, what you can do is you can play around with it like this and say, gee, I really wish I had blank, right? It does Iron Meos. So, gee, I really wish my torpedoes reloaded quicker. Or, gee, I really wish my guns reloaded quicker. The point I'm getting at is as you play, you think about to yourself, which would have been better for me. And eventually, when you get that respec, then, okay, cool. Drop that and pick up whichever of these two you feel are more important to you.
Okay.
And I like Grunty's idea of grease the gears. That would not be a bad idea to go. I was gonna say that or liquidator, but who cares about flooding with this? It's more about
right.
you know getting your guns turned. However, if you are doing radiolocation, there's less of a need for grease the gears. So again, you can play it and play around, see.
I mean, the one thing the ship has going for it has the 8 guns, so the alpha per salvo is pretty good. Like the
Right.
DPM is not, but it does have the alpha.
Mhm.
So if you have a chance to take the pot shot, you probably want to take it and get the guns on them. Is really a good idea.
Right, exactly. That's why I was saying if you've got radiolocation, in theory, your gun's already pointed at the nearest target, which will probably be a destroyer, which will then show up in your concealment, which is 6.28. And then you know you shoot them.
6-2. As bad as it sounds, 6-2 at tier 6 is actually not that bad.
I know, I agree. It's okay. And if I remember right, isn't this American smoke?
I do believe so.
Mm,
I could be wrong.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway,
think it is.
It's decent smoke, but
yeah.
it's okay.
you gotta sit in it. Yeah, you gotta sit in.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get to your replay then. And let's see what goes on. Chat, we're going to see an ad break in just about a moment here.
And your commander skills is like putting a lipstick on it. It's still going to be a pig.
It's still a big.
Yeah. But, you know, it's nice to have the talk through and then, you know, discuss like what works, what doesn't and stuff. So, chat, we got an ad break that's going to pop up. As a reminder, I am also streaming over to YouTube, so you can dodge the ad that way if you want and still keep up with what's going on.
Oh, and no death pick. Just no death
Cool.
pick.
Maybe that pig. I already forgot they buffed the Leone recently, right? What did they buff on it? Like apart from the death charges, there was something else I think they did.
I don't remember.
All right, so
Actually
you're looking around.
sad.
You're looking around. Now this is a standard battle. So
Yeah, just standard.
when it's
yeah.
a standard battle, I usually draw a mental line across the map at about that point. Not the middle point, but this line here. And I typically say to myself, I'm not going past this line, especially on Two Brothers. If you go past this line, you get to a position here. One, you could be discovered by the enemy and none of your teammates came with, and then you're screwed. And two,
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I'm not going across there. So.
yeah. No, I'm just sharing this so people who like don't really think of it this way. Two is if you manage to work your way south, you have less and less of a inclination to go back and defend your cap if it's being attacked. And Two Brothers, because you always have people that derp up the channel, you need to be in position to go back to cap. So, I kind of like how you're setting yourself up here. You're just chilling. This is a tier 7 to 6 to 5 game, so you're middle tier, and you're located.
Yeah. And there's a sub on this side.
There's a sub on this side. It could be the Shino no Nome that's locating you.
It's rather unlikely that a Z31 has a radio location.
That's exactly right. Hey, Dutch. I'm doing fine. A little tired. How are you? You've got, you just have your guns on. I might have my torps on so I can just track the Dunkirk a little bit. Because I want to know, is he going to stop and reverse, or is he going to, you know, start moving? And if he's going to start moving, which way is he moving? And Drifting, exactly. Shino is more likely to have a 21-point captain. But hey, look, Z31. Now you look like you're about to open up with your guns. I would not do that. I would just fire the torpedoes. Now, if you want to open up with your guns... he's turning away and running. Never mind. I wouldn't open up with guns at all there.
I didn't.
Yep.
I think these ballistics are not great if I remember correctly.
No.
They're not great.
I usually treat this ship very much like an American destroyer. I want the enemy as close to me as possible. So that I can start opening up with my guns. Even then, it's just bleh. Doing good. Done with current D-Day chain. Oh, good. Congratulations. Relaxing stream watching. Awesome. Okay, now, you need to be thinking, I don't know if you are, because you're still at full speed, you need to be thinking about using your smoke to smoke up and not be detected. You've got a Furutaka that's coming straight at you at 6.5. I would have been thinking about this at about 7-kilometer range, saying I need to slow down to half, so that when you need to smoke, I would be smoking here at 6.5 and go down to a quarter speed at that point. Okay, so start decelerating earlier. Be thinking about, when do I need to smoke?
Smoke generator started.
Because you see, you smoked and then you slowed down. So plan ahead a little bit more around using that smoke, and then go up to 1/4. Once you've gotten into the smoke, move up to a quarter, because you know what typically happens is people will torpedo the smoke. Now, I don't like that you are leaving the smoke. I want to point this out for you guys that maybe many people don't know this, but there's an arrow right here by your speed. That arrow is telling you that you need to be below that speed to be able to pop your smoke circles and stay within that smoke screen. If you go faster than that, you will leave your smoke and possibly be spotted. So what you do is, that's why I said I go to a half when I'm prepping to smoke. And then when I smoke, I let it sit at a quarter, especially until you're up maybe like 5 seconds left of smoke action time. And then I'll go ahead and stop and all that kind of stuff. You want the larger smoke screen. The larger smoke screen not only benefits you because it's harder for them to know where exactly in the smoke you are, but it gives your teammates more smoke coverage as well. Maybe the Zara can duck into it, for example, or duck behind it. Okay? All right, sub is over there too. Shino's on the other side, so you're not really located anymore. I think the Z31 actually had it. Interesting. All right, what are those torpedoes aimed at? The Rook?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're hoping he's either going to turn in, beach, broadside, or turn out and slow down. Just looks like that's what he's doing. In other words, you probably have I would say it's a low probability of landing the torps.
Yeah. I mean, but he's gonna keep him honest, though. He's not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna just sit there and farm us. So.
Right. Well, and take a look. You've already got torps coming up pretty soon again. So. Now I'd be looking at the Z31 and thinking, how can I get over there? How can I protect my Cachalot? I might use my engine boost here.
Your sub used the submarine surveillance and did not find the enemy sub. That's kind of
right.
good.
That means that the sub has backed off a bit, huh?
Backed off or surface?
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, the Shino's dead over there, so that's good. You took out your hideout, which is oof. I would not shoot here. Go to the Z31. Go to the Z31. Go to the Z31. You try! Why you do this? So do you know why I recommend against shooting here?
Why?
Well,
I mean, I'm close to land cover, so I mean that was my thought. I mean,
okay,
you know,
you're close to land cover, and you're also
yeah.
close to getting behind 2 battleships. But for right now, you've just told the Dunkirk where you are, you've told the Zara where you are, you've told the Rook where you are, you've told the Z31 where you are, and the U-69 where you are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships plus the Gavor, I suppose. 7, 6? I can't count. You get the idea, though. There's a lot of enemy ships that know exactly where you are and could very well decide to focus you. The 31's already attacking you. You going this way behind the battleships is okay, but the thing is that you're going to tell basically the U-69 that you have no ability to get there and bother him, which gives him the ability to you know, have free reign over whatever he wants. If he wants to go after the battleships, he can. It's gonna take you. It's gonna take you a while to get behind the rock and come out after them. Is what I'm getting at. You know, so when I look at this, the last thing you want to do is open up because you tell the enemy exactly where you are. If you kept guns silent, they've got no clue, and so they have to play a little bit more cautiously. As soon as you run behind this island, they know that you're not a threat to them. Your torpedoes aren't a threat because you're behind the island and can't luck chuck them. You encourage the Dunkirk to back up from you farther because, you know, you could be torping him, which you were.
Also, I mean, what's the benefit of shooting? He was bow on. You have 120mm guns, and he was already burning. Like, at best, you get like 1,000 damage out of this salvo.
Yep. And here's the other part of it too. You're seeing this at a good time, but you choosing to go behind the battleships means essentially that you're putting yourself in torpedo alley. Now you don't know where to go. So you could have actually surprised the Z31 if you had made it to that corner without shooting. Now you're kind of dependent on him to sit there and be dumb. It might happen. You're gonna go behind the island again. Why haven't you used engine boost yet, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now you're shooting, so if he's paying attention, he sees those shells and thinks torpedoes might come his way and decides not to keep backing up. So you might have just warned him about your own torpedoes.
Okay.
Like, don't go there. Those torps have a very low chance of hitting as well. And 31 gets an easy kill on the Numex, partly because you aren't a threat. So why are you're backing off again?
Yeah. Well, I figured there's way more there than there is of me there, so I mean...
At this point there are, yes.
Even with the New Mexico there, I mean...
I think you're giving the C-31 way too much respect.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that thing is not gonna outgun you with the HE. The AP is gonna overpen,
Mm-hmm.
and the HE is not dealing any DPM on that ship.
Nope. Hey, you're shooting behind cover. Yes, warriors. If you look at it, your patch just preloaded.
Torpedoes astern.
If you open up Warship, Wargaming client, WGC Game Center, whatever, it should have downloaded the upcoming patch already. So that should tell you it's this week.
Nice work.
Whichever server you're on, the usual day for that. So another
Unless
easy way to
something goes
tell.
horribly wrong.
Yeah, another easy way to tell is you look at the event pass, and whenever the event pass expires, that's generally speaking when the patch is going to hit. You forgot what's supposed to drop with the next patch? I don't remember.
2 new
So they-
sets of D-Day operations.
Right. Is the French destroyer line going into testing?
I think they go in early access in 13.6.
Yeah. Right. So they're going to test it
but-
this patch and then early access it the following. Hey, that's fine. If there's like a patch that's not much, then there you go. You keep firing right on the white line, and if you notice that the Dunkirk is reversing, so spend a little bit extra time and see what these guys are doing before you make your decision. Also, I would probably stop, smoke, and shoot here. And I would stop, smoke, and shoot the Cavor, not the Dunkirk. Because you got Torps coming in on him. I would stop, smoke, and shoot the Cavor here. Also, your cap is being grabbed, so I'd probably go back to the cap.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Okay? I mean, you've got time.
Do not let the
Well, look,
Is
it's the
that
Rook.
though in the cap? Okay.
It's the Rook.
It's
yeah.
the Rook. It's the Rook.
Now, if
God,
you
those
open up
turrets are so
guns
slow.
here, opening up guns here tells him to continue backing up so you don't, have a torpedo angle on him.
Yeah, I mean, he probably backs up anyway to just barely touch the cap.
Mm-hmm. Also, engine boost. If you're gonna be open watering, you need to engine boost.
Yeah, you want to basically get in a position now as quickly as possible where you can torp the Rook anymore when he... Again, I mean...
Right, right. That's what I'm doing. I mean, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, but you're not going as fast as you could be.
Right.
Now, you're probably gonna win this simply because your team is sitting in their cap. And we'll have to see. It looks like they're all turning south, so this actually might not be a win, depending on how things go.
I'm just gonna say it's really close. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah, the issue here is that their whole team is gonna be able to reset your team, so I'm not
Yes.
sure if that cap is actually going to be successful.
engine boost activated.
Yep. Hey, look,
Also,
you
if
engine
you
boosted.
wanna top the Rook, you do not enter this cap. Don't tell him
Nope.
you're here.
Correct. Okay, now you just changed to gun, so if he's got priority target, he just went from 0 people targeting him to 1 person targeting you. Well, fortunately, okay, it looks like the Duke of Yuck is shooting him in the rear, so that comes in handy.
Whoa, how is he getting... Okay, I did not expect that. That is probably gonna make the rook move forward anyway, that he gets shot from behind.
Right.
Or maybe not.
Oh, he's decided to.
Do
It's
not
just-
switch between the guns and the torps like this.
Yeah, it makes him think if he's got priority target, like I said, it goes from 0 to 1 to 0 or 1 to 2 to 1. Either
Okay,
way,
I didn't-
it keeps telling him that somebody's targeting him after firing torpedoes. And he DCP'd the fires earlier, so he's a dead rook.
Yep,
You need to come down the channel.
I am. I will be.
Yeah, but you should be heading that way now already, like... Little delayed reaction. And, I mean... Could be seconds, you know, in this match. A matter, so... This time to taunt them in all chat, like...
You're still
That
losing.
could come back to bite you. Yeah, exactly.
Engine boost deactivated.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Okay, you're still not going into the chat, into the channel. Instead, you're... I mean, there's the sub, so everybody went back. So I don't know what you're trying to do now. So you wasted about maybe 30 to 45 seconds.
And you don't actually have time to waste because the game ends at 4 minutes.
Bingo. Now, of course, too, you could have saved some more time if you had used your engine boost earlier.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that kill is big.
That kill is absolutely huge. Leon goes down.
But thanks to that kill, you still have a point lead.
And now you go in all chat, I'm coming. Okay.
I did not mean to put it in all chat. That was an accident.
Yeah, because you were too busy being cheeky and taunting the enemy
Yeah,
last time. See what that got you? Well, so technically you're winning right now, but if the Duke of Yuck dies to the Cavor whatever, then that's gonna swing the points again.
I would tell my Duke here to ram.
Absolutely.
If
This
they
way. This way.
trade-
This way. This way. I don't know. I mean, I know they trade. They do trade. So
Okay, Zed revealed himself too.
Yep. So you might as well shoot him. Okay, now I want to point something out right now. He's turning, he's looking at you, and he's shooting his guns. If you see a pause in him and his firing, then that tells you he's torpedoed you. So keep that in mind.
right.
AP?
It was an accident.
That was
Fat fingered it. I just.
I'm
you
not
fat
sure.
finger
Does
zooming out?
C31 already have the 25mm plate?
I don't know.
The AP is
Okay.
probably not the worst.
Forget the
here.
torps. Forget the torps.
Dead ahead.
I'm glad I didn't forget the torps.
No. Forget your torps. Your torps don't matter. Guns.
Like, you're giving him free damage here. Also, his
Exactly.
smoke firing penalty is worse than yours. You could smoke here and kill him. He would not see you. You could shoot.
Hey, you got the kill. I would say at that range, widespread would have been a better choice, but I think you would have done better with that kill if you just stayed on guns and just focused on one thing only, which is just hitting him with the guns until he's dead.
Okay.
It felt like you were trying to do too much at once there, and I could tell you were kind of confusing yourself because you had like somehow zoomed out and you were like, ugh, you know, like all over the...
Right. No, I'm not good in usually in those situations. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're trying to do too much at once. You're like, oh my god, I got torps. I have to fire my torps. You know, they've got torps and all that. And so that was good that you slowed down. You turned there. You know, he didn't have a gap in his firing because he'd already fired his torpedoes, I think, before he started shooting at you.
Right.
So that worked out well.
That's why I stopped. I figured he was firing them off. So.
Mm-hmm. Let's pull up the replay render.
I was actually super surprised that that Z-31 was in that cap there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I expected him to be on the side of the battleship somewhere.
Mm-hmm. See. So right here, you know, you're smoking. We talked about, you know, using that smoke a little bit more effectively.
Right.
So right here is probably your best chance if you wanted to swing to the side to do it, but you curled back behind your smoke, which, by the way, don't do that if you can help it. That's a decision I see a lot of destroyer players make, especially at low tiers. And what it does is it actually puts you back into torpedo, you know, threat again, because you're going behind the thing that's going to attract the torpedoes.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you see the torps, I mean, you know.
Right.
So here's the part where you opened up. Now, this is very risky, but if you hadn't opened up here, you could have gone for the sub. You probably would have
You
died.
think so? Yeah. He was too far out in the open for me, for my liking.
Yeah,
Especially with
the
that
Sarah being
Scar,
there
yeah,
and the
yeah.
SAP shells it has.
Yeah, like
That's
you're me
very
up.
risky.
That would have been done.
Yep. You'd only have a choice, like you'd have one shot at it, which would be engine boosting straight at it, and then, you know, dodging some things at depth. He ended up being on the surface, so you would have been able to get some shots on him. But yeah, it's probably too risky. I'm just thinking to myself, like if you had gone in front of this island instead of behind it, and you hadn't
I'd have been
been
dead.
shooting.
I'd have-
Yeah. Pretty much.
That salvo did actually nothing, by the way, and
I
cost you
know.
the DCP and 800 damage on your hull.
No, buffed his adrenaline rush.
Yes, that was exactly why I did it. Sarcasm. It's fine. Sarcasm. It's
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
sarcasm.
I think it's hilarious though that how many times we remarked about going after that Z-31, and then he ended up being the final boss.
Right.
You know what? That's gonna be the title for your replay,
Okay.
unless you guys think of a better one. But I think final boss makes sense.
Yeah. Isn't the Z-31 a tier 7?
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I didn't go after him. That's why
It's
I mean,
it was one of the worst chips, if not the worst chip in the game before Wargaming buffed it, and it's still not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember going through it for a couple of games, you know, on my way to the Z-52, but
Like this ship
No,
has
wrong line.
HEDPM that is
wrong line. Okay.
that ship has the HEDPM of like a tier 5 destroyer.
Oh, so like mine. Got it.
Yeah. The
I'm
Z-30
I'm looking it up right now. I think it has worse HEDPM than you have on the Leone.
probably. So the Z-31 is the German gunboat destroyer line. So that's the Elbing
Oh,
line.
the Elbing line. Okay.
Mhm. So he has no
So-
smoke screen, and he's highly dependent on his AP shells doing damage. So when you go broadside to him, that's good for him, bad for you.
Okay.
So for reference, your 8 PDPM is about the same. Like you have 118, he has 126. HE, you have 96,000, he has 61.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right.
Like you can take this thing.
Well, now I know. I mean,
And knowing is half the battle.
yeah. I mean, I don't know all the ships in the game yet, so.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
I don't expect you to. I don't either, frankly, because Wargaming keeps crapping them out like crazy. So
I'm still trying to get to know the tech tree ships. So I mean,
me too. I mean, some of the newer ones I've only played a few of, and that's like it, you know.
yeah.
You expect me
And
no
I'm
thanks,
fairly new.
bro.
Yeah, and I'm fairly.
No worries. And Cypher, you know, we're not like tearing into his replay to tell him he sucks or anything. We're going in there giving him feedback and highlighting areas to consider, which
Yeah.
I think
Tell
is
me how to
really
play
important.
better. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
well, and that's what this channel is all about. This isn't about, you know, stroking e-peens in one, you know, extreme, or tearing somebody down and making them feel like crap on the other. I mean, it's still a good game. You still came in, what, third, I think?
Third experience, yeah.
Yeah, and you won because you went down into the cap. So
After I
things
talk
worked
shit,
out.
it's fine. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, after you go and taunt the enemy. The funny thing is like, had you gotten there a minute earlier, what would that have looked like? You know, could the Kavor have
might have been
smacked
worse.
you? And that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like, it's just
it's-
it's funny how these things kind of come out sometimes. How dare you not know? All right. Well, is there anything else on this replay, or are we good?
no, I'm good. I'm good, Jeff.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sending it in. This was
Yeah.
this is a good way to start the replay analysis. Title replay should be Suicidal Rook ruin the game.